read it was supposed to be a 3-week injury. Um,
Good. So I can back him up on that, and there's video evidence of that. He. Oh.
what's up, my guy?
What's happening, Neil?
Oh, not much.
Living the
Just
lifetime?
oh yeah, living the dream.
Liking to troll me online with your stupid ass anti-catching videos?
you
Oh,
know, when I ordered that stuff, the guy asked me if I wanted ketchup. When I got my food and everything, and I first started, I was like, no, and I was like, oh, I'm going to troll Zach with this. Yeah, and give me a handful. He threw them in the bag, so I grabbed it, and yeah, I
you
thought
know,
that was pretty funny.
got notified you tagged me in it. I didn't know until it started saying people were commenting on a video I was tagged in, and I was like, "What the?" That's why it took me an hour to like reply because like I never got the tag.
Huh? Maybe I messed up on the tag. I don't know.
No, well, you did. You couldn't have messed up because, like I said, it was notifying me that I was tagged in it after people were commenting.
Oh,
So my Facebook must have I must not had good service or something at the time or whatever. But I didn't even see it till afterwards. But
right.
all right, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. The
We
first.
need some theme music or something.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I gotta get somebody that knows how to put that shit in our videos. So,
Right, right.
um. All right. So the first question is Atlanta going full rebuild?
Oh, you changed it up on me because I put them down in order.
Oh yeah, the first one's a troll question, so I just skipped it.
Oh, was it? Okay, we'll skip it then.
Ryan Tannehill,
Um,
for real? I mean, that's a troll question.
okay.
That's Stefan. All he
Um,
of his Titans and troll about his Titans.
um, they should be because they're not getting it done. Quinn is a by trade a defensive coordinator, turned head coach, and his defenses since he's been a head coach been bottom tier of the league
Right.
every year. I mean, he drafted good players, but one, they can't stay healthy, and two, they just the ones that he did draft have severely underperformed when they were on the field. So, I mean, they've had flash games, but yeah, they should be in full rebuild. I mean, Quinn is in. He doesn't get this fixed like in quick. He's in trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know if it's necessarily all on Quinn because Quinn's proven that he can lead that team. I don't. What Cotter? That's what his name is, right? Their offensive coordinator. Cotter,
Yeah,
how you pronounce it?
Cutter, Dirk Cutter. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean I know who he is and what his resume is like, but I never realized how to pronounce his name, so I want to make sure I'm saying it right. Um,
Yep.
he's awful. Like
Yeah.
he's absolutely terrible. I think that was just a shit hire, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Injuries obviously has a lot to do with their problems. And I know like a lot of people who watch their games are like Matt Ryan's not the problem. He kind of is. He doesn't decide to start doing anything until he's already down 3 scores, and then he's like, oh, all right, let's go. And you,
Well, I know one player can't make it, isn't doesn't make a team, but I really think that they missed Tevin Coleman bad. I mean, to me, that was a mistake by not resigning him. Yeah, he wanted to be a starting back somewhere, but he's not. He's a great compliment back, and I don't know. I personally think that not signing him really, really hurt him because Ito Smith is trash and now he's concussed. And Brian Hill isn't what they thought he was going to be. So yeah, I think that plays a big share or a big role in it too.
yeah, and I guess I never really answered the question. Is Atlanta full rebuild mode? I think that the Mohamed Sanu trade kind of answered that question. So yeah, they're in rebuild mode now. I know Matt Ryan's not that old, but he's getting older. And the running game's just not working. Julio's getting old by wide receiver standards. So they were in win now, and they're not winning now. So they're gonna start to look and to put pieces together. I don't think Matt Ryan's done by any means in Atlanta. So I'm not saying that they're gonna get rid of Matt Ryan, but they're gonna look to start building young pieces around him for the time being, because they know that they're out. They're 1-6. They would have to win out in the NFC. So which, I mean, they would literally have to go 9-0 down the stretch to have a possibility
to make playoffs.
And that might not even. I remember one year the Bears missed it 10-6, and I feel like this could be another year.
There's been several times where teams have missed it 10-6. I mean, over the years, but yeah, they I think you're going to see them go really hard for after defensive players in the offseason and, in the draft and in free agency. That's where they're clearing weaknesses, and they're going to have to draft another running back and, they're going to need another running back, receiver, and quarterback. Because, like you said, Julio is getting old, and by receiver standards, he's got a lot of miles on him, and he's going to start breaking down. He's already hit a little bit of an injury history as it is with his feet, but I mean, it's not good down there right now.
Yeah,
and just for the record, I called that before the season even started. If you remember,
you did, and it's on our videos that you can watch on our YouTube channel. There's a little plug there. He did call that before the season. He said he didn't think Atlanta was that good when we were picking the Minnesota-Atlanta game in week 1. He said he didn't think Atlanta was that good. So I can back him up on that, and there's video evidence of that. He did say that, and he did call that. So good job, because I argued with you about that. Then now I got figured.
Get your face. Yeah.
The next question is, what are the Lions and the Falcons doing? We kind of just went over the Falcons. You can go ahead with the Lions if you want to just talk about whatever you want to talk about on there. But I got some info from an insider Lions source that I want to read to people about this.
Well, I mean, all I got is, kind of what you and I talked about the day it happened. And I didn't really realize it because I haven't seen a lot of Lions games, but so I went back and looked at things, and yeah, Diggs, he's got a lot of missed tackles this year, and that's not good for a safety. Safety is supposed to be, beside linebacker, your most sure tackler on the field, because he's the guy that plays the passing game and the running game.
Yeah.
And they're real high on, from everything I'm reading, they're real high on this Tavon Wilson kid. So, I don't think they got a very good price for him, but there, like you was saying, there wasn't a lot of interest either.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing they probably just took what the best offer was. But watching him go to Seattle now and just play lights out.
Yeah, I mean, that's stuff that happens, though. I mean, you can't control that. All you know is he wasn't playing well for your team. And for a guy that they pushed to be a future superstar in this league, he wasn't cutting it. And I know Diggs was a fan favorite, and it sucks that he was a locker room favorite, but you can't play favorites when it comes to a business like this. And that, right. I mean, if that was the case, Zach Zenner would be here. If that was the case, what was that tight end, that white tight end that did all the dances? Poirier. He would still be here.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, but he's not, because you can't play favorites in this business. So it doesn't matter that he was a fan favorite or a locker room favorite. He wasn't performing, and that's what it comes down to. So yeah, I got quotes from a Lions insider here, straight up on five reasons why they are, what the Lions were thinking about this. Number one is he just pretty much assured everybody the Lions are not in selling mode. at all. And number two was Diggs. Diggs' play had fallen from last year, suffering a lot of missed tackles, which Neil already went over. Number three was that they called around the league. They called almost every team in the league and found very few teams interested. So a fifth-round pick was the best that they could get from the teams that they contacted. And then the Lions are also very high on their two young safeties, Tracy Walker and Will Harris, and also Tavon Wilson. They're high on all of those kids. So, like, losing Diggs wasn't, like, huge for the Lions. And they also said that they knew that this wouldn't be well received in the locker room, but they made the decision based on how play was going, not based on favoritism, which in a business like this is the way to go. So the Lions are not selling. They know they got a solid team. They understand they got a losing record, but they also see their schedule coming up. And I'm not saying the Lions are going to make the playoffs, but they've only got a couple hard games left on the schedule. So if they can take care of the teams that they're supposed to take care of and upset one of these teams, they could find themselves in the 5 or 6 seed in the playoffs. So, and they know that. So, definitely not selling. So,
Yeah. I just wanted to mention I didn't say anything about Tracy Walker because Tracy Walker is actually a free safety, where Diggs was a strong safety, and Tavon Wilson and Will Harris are both strong safeties. So I would imagine that, according to the depth chart, Tavon Wilson was the backup to Diggs. So I would imagine that Tavon Wilson will step into that strong safety role.
Right. I was just reading off of what was posted here.
Right.
Yeah, and I definitely understand that. But I also know that I guess they're saying Diggs can play both, and I guess Seattle wants to experiment with him at free safety. So,
right.
We'll see what that is. The next question was about the Diggs trade again. We kind of just went over that. All right, so the next one after that is, does Russell Wilson have to play a perfect game for Seattle to win games? The 2 losses that he suffered were his worst games.
Well, I mean, any team, if your quarterback has a bad game, you stand a much higher chance of losing.
Right.
But Russell Wilson is probably, if not one of the most dangerous quarterbacks when he's on point. I mean, he can kill you with his legs. He can kill you with his arm. He's one of the more accurate quarterbacks in the NFL and has been since the jump. No, I don't think he has to play perfect. I mean, Russell Wilson can play game manager and Seattle can win. Because Seattle, everybody knows who watches football, Seattle, their thing is they want to run that football. They want to pound Chris Carson up there, ideally 25 to 30 times a game. And if they pass 20 times or less, they're happy with that. Because Wilson can go 18 for 20 for 240 and 3 touchdowns easily. And and he can run for another 30 or 40 with his legs, just to get that
right.
I needed first down.
That's what I like about Russ, though. He can do the 20 or less, but he can also throw 40 passes, and you're not fearing that you're possibly not going to win the game by doing that.
Right.
So he's good enough to do both, which a lot of quarterbacks are one or the other. And I think is outside of Brees is the best quarterback in the NFC. I'll never say anybody's better than Drew Brees, so I'll never put him over that. But we'll see how Brees comes back from his hand injury. But I don't think Russell Wilson has to play perfect, but I think he has to play damn near perfect because I think he's playing with less talent than a lot of other quarterbacks are playing with on his roster. I like Seattle, and I think they had a lot of young pieces. But if Russ plays bad, they do lose. So he can't play bad. If he plays good, he doesn't have to play lights out, okay? Because Carson is a good running back, and he can do the game manager thing as long as he's still playing well. I'll do it. Like, he's not throwing a pick 6 like he did this weekend because, that changed the whole game. That pick 6 did.
Right, but that's uncharacteristic of him, too.
Right, but what I'm saying is, look, that led to a loss, so he doesn't.
Right.
Well, I'm not saying he does it often. Like I said, I think Russ is great, and he doesn't play bad very often. But I do think he has to have good games for them to win.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has bad games, and
absolutely.
He's had way more good ones than he has bad. So
absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So I think Seattle's a front runner in the NFC. I think they're better than San Francisco. Sorry, I mean San Francisco's defense is better than theirs. I think their defense is arguably the best in the league, but they're miles ahead of San Francisco on offense. So I think they're the best team in the NFC West. But right now, San Francisco has only played one hard game all year. So eventually, Seattle's going to get that easy part, and San Francisco is going to move into that hard part, and we're going to see the difference here. So
We'll see who's who for sure.
yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to step up. He can't lay on that defense forever if he wants to win this division.
Well, that's a lot of that too is the play calling, because Shanahan is a very innovative play caller, and he does it with the running game. Most guys who are innovative play callers or play designers do it through the pass,
Right.
but he does it with the run. I mean, he's got he can bring in 4 guys and every single one of them be just as effective as the other. It kind of reminds me of when his dad was in Denver. I mean, he was rolling guys out there like Olandis Gary, 1,000-yard rusher in his system. And then Olandis Gary, if I remember right, came to Detroit and was just garbage, absolute garbage.
Yeah.
And where he went after that, I don't even think he come close to 500 yards rushing. But it's just the Shanahan's running system.
Yeah, he had a lot of one-hit wonders in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Portis was really the only guy that was able to maintain success outside of Denver.
Well, Terrell Davis. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Outside of Denver. Yeah, right.
So, he was just good at mixing it up, but obviously he passed it down to his kids. So, it'll be fun to watch this division rival down. I think Seattle's better, but I think it's going to be close. Both those teams look like they could be playoff teams. So, but we'll continue to go on. Is the Patriots' defense truly as good as the current stats, or are they truly skewed?
Well, I mean, they played one good team in Buffalo,
which doesn't have an offense.
They have a decent running game because they run through the quarterback, much like Baltimore does. I mean, you're probably going to disagree with what I say, but you hear me out. Okay, to this point, you have to say yes, because even if they are a garbage NFL team, they are still an NFL team. They're still the best of the best in the world.
Didn't you say that Miami wasn't an NFL team? I believe you said that earlier this year.
That was tongue-in-cheek, I guess. It kind of goes back to the old argument that, some knuckleheads throw out there, Alabama could beat the worst NFL. No, Alabama could not beat the worst NFL team. The worst NFL team would roll the best college team.
By a lot. It wouldn't even be close.
Exactly. It would be an absolute mauling. So, with that being said, they're still NFL teams. Each team still has, dangerous elements to their team. I mean, Kenyon Drake is you give him a crack and he's gone. So we will see, because their next 6 games coming up are pretty interesting. They got the Browns at home, Browns are at home. Then they go to Baltimore, to Philly, Cowboys at home, to Houston, and the Chiefs at home.
Yep.
And then they soften up.
Scary at the beginning of the year than it really does right now, though.
Yep. Yeah, the middle of their schedule is pretty rough, and if they can win 4 of those, I think they'll be doing good.
Right.
But I mean, you can never underestimate or never discredit Belichick either. He is an absolute defensive mastermind, always has been, back from his days when he was under Parcells in New York for the Giants.
I mean,
the Giants had an absolute nasty defense. He had some great players at his disposal with Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson and Banks. I mean, just you until it happens, you got to say yes.
I mean, always been a defensive mastermind. I mean, the year they played Philly in the Super Bowl, they were 32nd in defense. So.
But that was Patricia calling the shots.
Oh, taking shots. Taking shots.
He's calling the shots. No, it's facts. It's not me taking shots.
It is facts.
It just so happens that Patricia was the one there, and even some of our Lion fan friends made comments when Patricia was still the DC in New England. Jordan was another one. How Patricia was overrated as a defensive coordinator because he had more of a bend but don't break philosophy in New England.
Coincidentally, right?
What's that?
Which is what the Lions have had most of the year, coincidentally, right? Give them
exactly
cards because
Belichick is more aggressive. He will get after you. And so, but like I said, to this point, you got to say yes because they've done it. They've actually scored the most, in fantasy-wise, they've scored the most points defensively, or second most points defensively in NFL history since it's been kept track of. That's saying something because there's some defenses out that the Ravens defense, which was probably one of the best ever, and that's just. Yeah, you got to say yes, but like I said, the 6-game stretch will tell us a lot.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that they're not. I was gonna say my answer to this question is we'll see. Okay, because they haven't played. I'm not gonna discount them because they totally could be, but it's hard for me to gauge and be like, yeah, they're the best defense when they haven't played a juggernaut offense yet. I mean, the next couple stretches are their 6-game stretch is going to be a little difficult, although I do have to say that schedule looked a lot scarier in week 1 than it does now because several of those teams in that hard stretch have not been playing exceptional football. Cleveland, Dallas, Philly. So it looks a little easier than it did then. And I also have to say this is probably the easiest schedule I've ever seen in the history of the league. And no, they didn't give Ravens a schedule. It's a formula. They just got lucky. But damn, that thing is easy. I went through the whole thing, and it's like, what in the world? But this is going to be their biggest. Houston, Baltimore, and Kansas City will really be their biggest tests. For sure. Because they have mobile quarterbacks. Well, we'll see if Mahomes is still mobile, but as of right now, they have mobile quarterbacks who can make this plays continue. Where they haven't faced a lot of that. I know they faced Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's still, not in the top category yet. So he's kind of like a minor threat quarterback with not a lot of weapons. So it'll be.
Well, and you got to put Dak in there as a mobile quarterback too. Dak can run. He's not
talking about the great teams that have performed though. Those 3 great teams that have.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Than the underperforming team. It'll also be interesting with Dallas, but I can't see Dallas beating New England with the inconsistent play that they've had. I don't see it happening. I'm not saying that they won't be a game, or maybe they will upset them. But if I had to put money on it, I'm never taking Dallas. Not in that game. Those 3 that I mentioned, I think about it. They have the.
Why are you such a hater? I was referring to the question.
Oh yeah. She's gonna hate me when she sees this, but
I know.
She doesn't let me. When we picked Philly over Dallas, and she posted on my timeline or whatever about it. She literally didn't talk to me till Monday, except for what she posted on my timeline. She's like, good night. I'm not talking to you till Monday, until the game's over. And I thought she DMs me every day, right? And we talk all day, every day, almost, right? She literally didn't talk to me, other than the timeline post on Sunday night. Until Monday. And then
That's funny.
And had to rub it in. Dallas killed Philly.
That's funny.
So,
women.
Cassandra. I'm gonna say right now, Cassandra, it's your fans that make me hate Dallas, not the team itself. Actually, So this is no fault. All right. Are the 49ers for real or is it just a fluke?
I think they're for real. They've been slowly building this thing since Shanahan's been there. He's a good coach. He's already proven that. It's in his blood, or in his DNA, however you want to put it. His dad did it for most of my NFL football watching life. I mean, and I think he's still probably got a little bit of input, as far as, I'm sure Kyle kind of, picks his brain a little bit about certain things. Their defense is good. I mean, I guess their defense is good as long as Nick Bosa stays out there, because Nick Bosa is an absolute animal coming off the edge. He's unblockable. I think he's actually better than his brother, to be honest.
Oh, first of all, you forgot one of our rules of our podcast. We don't compliment Ohio State people.
I know, but I also call it where, if they're good, they're good. I have had conversations in the past with, some of my state friends, and, if a guy beat Michigan with this play, I'll tell them, Michigan sucked because they couldn't contain, player X.
Why do you never give Kirk Cousins any compliments then?
Because he's just a tool. He's annoying, dude. He really is. He's just
you can't sing and pull chicks like that guy can.
Just to look at him, he makes you want to punch him right in the throat.
He looks like one of those frat boys that lived off daddy's income for.
Yes.
He does.
I can see him with his collar rolled up and a White Claw in his hand.
Oh man, if I ever see a picture of him with a White Claw, I will immediately turn 100% against him. Okay, then you remind
anybody out there Photoshop?
Yeah, then you remind me of Dylan Burns, and you never want to be Dylan Burns.
Yeah. But, going back to what we're talking about with the 49ers, are they real? They're back to fundamental football. And, when I was growing up, fundamental football was play great defense, run the ball, and then pass to set up the run. And like I said, they've got Coleman, Breida, Mostert, and Jeff Wilson, all very capable running backs. They can plug any one of them in and not miss a step in the running game. So, yeah, to this point, they're real. They've beaten everybody they played. So,
yeah.
How can you say they're not?
Yeah, I think they're real too. And I don't want to take what I said about Seattle being the better team wrong. That's not me saying I don't think the 49ers are legit. It's just Russell Wilson's that good to me. The 49ers are good, okay? They're especially defensively, and that's going to keep them in every game, okay? I don't necessarily trust Jimmy Garoppolo, but that defense will keep them in games, so it takes a lot of pressure off of his back. Because if New England wasn't here, San Francisco's defense would be talked about all over TV.
Yep.
Okay? But because New England in their Teletubby schedule is here, nobody talks about San Francisco's defense because they're too busy talking about New England. So I got to give a little bit of love for them because they don't let nobody score. And they create turnovers. Like, they're all over the place. Hitting people, jumping routes. I like decent scoring ball games, but I also like to see really good defensive football also. And so, regardless of the fact that the 49ers don't really light up the scoreboard, they are fun to watch. That's just the kind of defense that I like, the way the 49ers play. And the way that they shut down the Rams was super impressive to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because that's not an easy team, regardless of what you think of Jared Goff. That's not an easy team to shut down, because McVay
makes Jared Goff look.
That dude is uber creative. In his memory, I swear to God, he's got elephant DNA in him, because he's got the memory of an elephant. I heard someplace somebody was interviewing him, and this was back when he was offensive coordinator in college, and they talked about a particular play, and he named off that play. This is something that happened 15 years prior, and he told them exactly what that play was and what each person's job was on that play.
That's crazy. Did you also know that he worked for free for John Gruden in Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Worked for free. Like he walked on and just wanted an opportunity. Gruden's like, okay, you can go ahead. Never paid him for anything. He just worked for Gruden because he kept bugging him. So Gruden was just like, all right, you can come out and help us. And like, never paid him a dime, and he was happy to do it. Was in every game, and all of a sudden, like players started talking about him and saying, this guy, he knows what he's doing. Like he's just a kid.
See, there you go.
And like these NFL players are talking about like this kid on the team that's like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah, like, there you go. Go up and talk to Zimmer.
Right. Shoot. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. But yeah, that division is going to be interesting. I think that the NFC West and the NFC North are going to be really fun divisions to watch down the stretch. You could argue which one's better than the other. I wouldn't argue with you no matter which one you said, because they're toss-ups and they're going to be fun to watch.
And not just for this year down the stretch, but I mean the next couple 3 years. You know, you get Kyler, get some game time or some experience behind him and some weapons and a line. That's a 4-horse race over there.
Yeah, it really is. I don't necessarily think it's a 4-horse race this year, but it could be.
Oh no.
It could be soon, even though the Cardinals are playing way above expectations.
Yeah, well, I'm talking. I'm talking a couple 3 years down the road. I mean, that's going to be a crazy division.
Oh yeah, I agree. All right, if the Buffalo Bills had the Washington Redskins schedule hypothetically in the NFC, would they be performing as well as they are right now? Yeah, why or why not?
Yeah, because they're a better team than Washington. Okay, I guess I'm misunderstanding the question.
No, they want to know if they would still be like 5-1. Do you think they'd be as good as they are now?
Okay, not performing better than Washington. I got you.
I don't know why they chose Washington, because they play in the weakest NFC division. If you really wanted an answer, you'd have stuck them somewhere.
Right. Well, I mean, Eagles, Cowboys, Bears, Patriots. Who else have they played?
Who? Washington?
Yeah.
Washington's played, yeah. Patriots, Eagles, Cowboys, Giants,
Bears, Miami.
That's a W.
I think the Bills are better than, and Brett Johansson, plug your ears for this, but I think the Bills are better than the Eagles.
Well, we're gonna find
Yep. I think the Bills are better than the Cowboys, and then plug your ears. I think the Bills are better than the Bears. Because the Bears have proven, other teams have proven you can run on the Bears. See Oakland. Patriots have already beaten the Bills. And the Bills are going to roll Miami both times they play them. So
then they already did it once.
Oh, that's right. Yep. So
last week.
Yeah, I would have to say they would be, because the only team I see them losing to and they've already beaten the Giants, right? The Bills have.
Yes.
So yeah, they still be a 5-1 team, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I think they'd be just as good, because they have what every team dreams to have, and that's an elite defense, and that is going to keep them in every game, and that's key going down the stretch. Because great, and I know great offenses are fun to watch, right? But great offenses, they can be beat. Okay, great defenses are harder to beat. Great offense, all you have to do is have a great night with them. Great defenses, it's hard to do with the rules in the NFL nowadays. It's hard to match a great defense. So they have that, and that gives them an advantage in almost every game. They played New England tooth and nail, and if Josh Allen wouldn't have got hit in the head, who knows what would have happened in that game?
True.
Because
Very true.
if you have Matt Barkley trying to lead your company,
No. I mean, that game would have went down to the wire, and it was still a tight game as it was, even when Barkley did play. But
right.
they just, Josh Allen brings that element, of Lamar Jackson. He's not as fast, but he's a much bigger kid and a bigger load to bring down than Lamar Jackson is too. I mean, so what's he got? Like 4 inches and probably 40 pounds on Jackson. And that's a big kid.
Can't ride most roller coasters, so
right. So, but yeah, I'd have to say, I mean, yeah, they'd be 75-1.
Yeah, I agree. Who's the hardest team to get a read on in the NFL?
Chargers. They're bottom of their division by tiebreaker. They're below the Broncos right now.
And why? I do not know.
I don't either. I mean, well, their offensive line is absolutely decimated right now. So that and the combination, Melvin, the last couple games, Melvin Gordon's been, well, he only got 8 touches the first game, and you can't get in any kind of a rhythm as a running back with only 8 touches, period. I don't care who you are. But yeah, I mean, the play calling has been really questionable, and the defense is, for some reason, again, the defense is really easy to run on. They're a very good pass defense, but running on them, man, they're like a sieve.
Right.
So, the Chargers, for me, it's the Chargers.
Yeah, I can't argue with you that they're a hard team to read. Mine's the Titans. The Titans are weird because they win every game I think they're going to lose, and they lose every game I think they're going to win. And I don't know what's going on there, and hopefully they figured it out when they put Tannehill in there, but it's just like when they lose, they all play bad. And when they win, it's just Derrick Henry playing good. So, I don't know what's going on there because I thought they were going to be a better team than this. After week, well, not before the season because I predicted them to finish last. But I watched them in week 1 and they looked good, and I was like, all right, this team really looks good. And then they just all fell apart and went back to the Tennessee I thought they'd be before the season started.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of it has to do with, I mean, he looks like a workhorse. He's built like a workhorse, but he hasn't proven to be a workhorse. Dion Lewis has only got, I want to say it was like 36 or 37 touches all year. So have they had a bye week? I don't think they have. So 7 games, Dion Lewis is averaging 5 touches a game. Again, we go back to, as a running back, you cannot get in any kind of a rhythm with so few touches.
But when they were
successful, or when they were successful, I guess is too strong of a word. When they were a better team, a more potent offense, is when they were mixing the two in and not just riding Derrick Henry.
I just don't think they feel like Derrick Henry can come out because he's their only form of any type of offense. So. Although Tannehill looked pretty solid last week, we'll have to see where he goes. I mean, he's 30-something now, and through his entire career, he's only 1 year where he's shown anything. So
right.
We'll have to see how that goes. I do think they're a better team with Tannehill because Marcus Mariota is afraid to throw the ball more than 3 yards. So I don't know why, but because he's got the talent, I don't understand it. It's like he just second-guesses himself before he throws the ball all the time.
Second guesses himself, and I think he's afraid of holding the ball too long, afraid of getting hit.
It too, because he's never turned the ball over, so I don't know why he'd be second guessing himself throwing it.
Right,
he's been a big turnover guy, ever.
Well, and the other thing too is he's running less, so that tells me he's afraid to take off because he doesn't want to get hurt.
Yeah, this ain't
so.
Anymore.
Yeah, the ball is like a hot potato. The ball is like a hot potato to him, or in his case, it would be a hot pineapple, and he's just trying to get rid of it as fast as he can.
Right. Yeah, he's Oregon. I don't know why I said Hawaii. Maybe because the uniforms are the same color. But
well, he's actually from Hawaii, so.
Oh, that could be why. Then maybe that's why I got it mixed up. But yeah, those Oregon quarterbacks never seem to pan out in the league anyway.
That's why I'm so scared of Justin Herbert coming out.
I know he looks good, but
I mean, there's been a long history of Oregon quarterbacks that were great at Oregon and just flopped. And Joey Harrington, Akili Smith, Kellen Clemens, Marcus Mariota. I mean,
Dixon.
all those guys except Clemens. Clemens was a second-round pick, but all the other three were all high first-round picks.
Yeah.
Akili Smith was actually the first overall taken by the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to say 1993, maybe.
You know, he was good on Madden 2001 on the N64. He was.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a rocket arm and he could run. I mean, he was kind of like, the flop for Oakland there.
Jamarcus Russell.
Russell, yeah, he was kind of Russell before Russell was Russell.
Right. Is Felipe gonna be here? You know, I wanted to message him and have him be a guest on our show, but Facebook deleted his account and he can't get back on right now. So we'll see if we can. Yeah, we'll see if we can get Felipe on the show.
Find a new co-host.
You don't want to meet Felipe?
No, I want Felipe to stay as far away from me as possible.
A little box pop up and he'd be like, "Dolphin fan here." Neil, you don't want to co-host with a Dolphin fan?
Negative.
All right, well, Neil's putting the kibosh on Felipe. I'm sorry to disappoint all the fans and the viewers of our show and the fans of Felipe. Hashtag free Felipe are upset. They're gonna be upset, but we gotta agree, and we didn't agree, so no Felipe.
He just needs to take a slow boat back to Cuba.
He's a Miami white boy.
With a Cuban first and last name.
Yeah. Who's the most complete team in the NFC? We went over that last week. That probably hasn't changed in a week, so we're going to skip that one. How can the Jets be fixed?
You skipped one.
Yeah, I did. I said we went over the complete NFC thing last week. So probably
what was the one about the Bears?
Bears.
Yeah, I got it written down. Okay. I forgot. I just put like little notes, so I can't remember the question. But something about the quarterback situation.
Oh, that's a couple questions down.
Oh, I took them right in order. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the Jets then. So, what was the question then?
How can the Jets be fixed?
Get rid of Gase.
Get rid of Gase. Hey, look! Hashtag free Felipe in the comments.
I can't reach my angry button. No, yeah. I mean, that's how Jets can get fixed. Is get rid of Gase. Gase is a horrible coach.
Oh, I agree.
I don't know. He's, to me, is the worst coach in the NFL. He completely yeah. I cannot stand Gase. I think he's arrogant. He thinks he's better than everybody, just the way he handles reporters and the media. And I understand that they can be a pain in the ass sometimes, but you know what? Dude, you ain't done nothing yet in this league.
You know, he publicly came out and said he didn't want Le'Veon Bell. That's good morale for your team.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You keep that stuff behind closed doors. You can say that to your staff alone. You don't say doors open, period.
Dude is an absolute joke. He was a joke in Chicago. He's a joke in Miami, and he's a bigger joke in New York. That team should be better than.
Yeah. And they beat 33-0 New England. Period.
Oh no, absolutely not. He did. You know what? He did nothing to help Sam Darnold out. He was still trying to call shots on the field when New England was just relentlessly blitzing Darnold. And they were easy. I mean, you could almost see Darnold when the blitz was coming. He's looking for his hot read. Well, there ain't no hot read because Gase is called there, sending everybody down the field.
Yeah,
There should always be a receiver for a hot read.
he's calling 4 verts on Madden. Everybody just go.
And where's the dump offs to Le'Veon?
They don't exist.
That's Le'Veon's. That's his. That's his forte right there. No Matt Forte pun intended, but that's what Le'Veon does. I mean, get him out in the open or out in the flat, dump it off to him, and let him do his thing in the open field.
Right.
And it just, Gase, that's the problem, really. I mean, there's no other problem. They got a solid defense. They, on paper, got a solid offense. They need to get rid of Gase.
Did you just hear that they just put Robbie Anderson on the trade block?
They need to get rid of Gase. Who asked that question?
George Rivera. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's one of the admins on NFL Longest Yard.
Oh, well, he's probably not watching, but yeah, George, if you are
here earlier, he left a comment.
Yeah, hey George, if you're watching, Adam Gase is the New York Jets problem. Oh, bottom line, that's it.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not going to add any more to that. That sums up perfectly to me. I don't see any other problems, and the fact that he's putting Robbie Anderson on the trade block means that he should go on the trade block because he is trash.
Yep.
Anderson's a stud if you actually use him properly. So, all right, who's going to win the NFC North?
Green Bay. They're the most complete team. They've already beaten. They've already beaten everybody up there, or in that division. So, and they've got something now that they have not had in a long, long time, and that's a defense. They've got a running game. Aaron Rodgers finally showed up last week. They were doing all this without him. Really.
Oakland.
They get their second best player back in Devontae Adams, and you're going to see that team take off. They're going to win the division.
They're not.
I know. Viking fan doesn't want to hear it. Lion fan doesn't want to hear it. Bear fan, I don't give two shits what you think.
That's funny. Neither. I have, and you have heard it firsthand. I have not once on this since we started this podcast, except for in the preseason, from week 1 till now, I have not said Minnesota was going to win this division. I have not said that. I've picked somebody else every week until now. Minnesota is for real. They are going to win this division. They don't have any holes. Their offensive line, which was their biggest hole, is ranked 11th in the league right now. You went from 32nd to 11th, right? You improved that. You have a great defense. They're 5th in the league. You have the best running back in the league. Sorry, McCaffrey, right now he's the best running back in the league. But either way, it's a toss-up between those two. So he's either the best or second best. He leads the league in rushing yards. He leads the league in touchdowns. Kirk Cousins was my reason before that. But ever since Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen called him out, he's been the best quarterback in the league the last 3 weeks. I mean, you can't argue that. The last 3 weeks, he has been the best quarterback in football.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm rolling my eyes about.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm gonna hit you with something.
Okay, they have one of the better coaches in football. Zimmer's a genius, and he gets along with his players, and he calls his players out for shit. He's not one of your super nice best friend guys. Okay, Green Bay beat Minnesota, but that game was close. Okay, and if the Vikings defense would have showed up in the first quarter, who knows what would happen in that game? Because Green Bay did not do anything after the first quarter. Now, a win is a win, and I'll give it to them. But when they go to Minnesota, that game could be completely different than they split the series. Because you know it's going to be different in Minnesota than it is in Green Bay. So, I mean, you can't deny that. That's what I got. That's what I got for you. They don't have a weakness.
No, they do have a weakness. Xavier Rhodes.
How is he a weakness?
Look up and see how many touchdowns he's given up this year. It's going to blow your mind because it blew mine.
He gave up 2 last week.
And the week before?
I don't know how many the week before. But Xavier Rhodes,
He's given up. He's given up, and I'm trying to go off the top of my head. It was either 5 or 7 so far this year.
okay,
Quarterbacks, defensive backs. Okay, we're going to be in agreement that when Josh Norman was in Carolina, he was a lockdown corner, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
It was Xavier Rhodes not the best cornerback in the league in 2017.
When a corner hits the wall, they actually fall off the cliff. Josh Norman went to Washington, had his first year was okay. And where's he at now? He's disappeared. He is not even a top 20 corner. Xavier Rhodes, I'm telling you, man, he's falling off the cliff. He is their weakness.
He's always struggled against speed receivers. Those physical guys, he doesn't allow anything to happen against those guys.
Well, then he's going to have some serious issues with Terry McLaurin this week. Because Terry McLaurin can flat out fly.
Throwing the football. Nobody's afraid of Case Keenum throwing the ball. Nobody.
Really?
It's going to be.
You don't think Case Keenum's got something to like a little chip on his shoulder?
Peterson has got the chip on his shoulder. That's the guy they got to worry about, because I don't care if you think he's over the cliff or not. He's going to show up for this game tonight. Period. This is against his own.
Is he going to get 100 like he did last week? Oh, wait a minute. He didn't get 100 last week.
He got 81 against, and that's the most San Francisco's given up.
In the mud.
Yeah, in the mud where it's harder to run, right? You're slipping and sliding.
No, it's harder to tackle somebody because you don't know where they're going. They know where they're going.
You're a professional player. Don't make me it's harder to tackle.
It's harder to tackle because you don't know where that running back's going. He knows where he's going.
I could tackle Adrian Peterson's ass in the mud.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would pay $1,000 to see that. I literally would. I would give 1,000 cash to see that. I would do a fundraiser and donate it to charity to watch that. I got him on Twitter. I'm going to
Wait a minute. Tell him your co-host on a podcast said he could tackle him in the mud. So that sounds dirty. You might not leave the mud out of it. But no. Players like
Terry McLaurin. It doesn't matter. All McKeenum's got to do is throw it in the area. Rhodes cannot hang with McLaurin speed-wise. McLaurin is flat out scary fast.
Yeah, but Zimmer knows that too, and he's probably going to have Trey Waynes cover him.
Trey Waynes can't stay with McLaurin.
Oh, stop that. Trey Waynes stays with everybody. Trey Waynes is probably the best corner in the game. I'm sorry. He's a good corner. I used to hate him actually, but he's shown up.
You cannot cover speed unless you have speed.
That's not true.
Really?
Rhodes has never been fast, and he was the best corner in the league 2 years ago. He's never been fast. And he's always shut down everybody. You know, Xavier Rhodes is the only corner to shut down DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, all to under 50 yards.
Yeah, and all of them are 4 or 5 guys.
The best 4 or 5 guys?
Terry McLaurin is a 4-3 guy. Trey Waynes couldn't run a 4-3 in his dreams.
You're gonna. He's not even gonna be a factor tonight. You watch.
Okay.
Remember, I told you that. Okay.
Okay.
I can't try to tell me the Vikings have weaknesses. They don't have weaknesses.
Yeah, they do. Xavier Rhodes is a weakness. I know it's hard for you to accept it because you're a Vikings fan.
No, look, dude.
I'm serious. At the end of the year, go back and look at his stats, and you're gonna. It shocked me. To be honest, I'm not doing this for a hate or a trolling factor.
Oops, sorry.
I'm not doing this to troll you. I'm doing this because it's dead serious. I was actually stunned by the stat. Because there was, a year or two ago, even, you could not do anything because he got up in your face, got in your head.
Road's closed.
Not anymore. They
Road
plowed
has
that baby.
trucks
They
don't
plowed that
last
baby.
so long.
It's now the Autobahn.
Trucks only last so long. The road's got to open at some point.
Yeah, they're open, all right.
Yeah.
McLaurin's going to be like a Koenigsegg going by him.
Say if I give that to you, okay? Say Xavier Rhodes is a weakness, so they have one weakness. That's still not a lot of weaknesses, which makes them a very, very complete team.
I didn't say they were not. No, the complete. If you got a glaring weakness at your starting corner, you're not complete.
Okay, well then the Packers aren't a complete team either.
No, they're not, because
their
they do have
definitely weakness.
There are very few teams. There are very few teams that have to shut down corners. The Vikings used to have, but Rhodes is not a shutdown corner anymore, and he's proved that by stats. I mean, you come on, you're the stat guy. You ought to. Don't seriously look that up, because I'm serious, man. You're gonna be shocked.
You know, I don't look up negative stats about my own team.
Did you read Miguel's comment?
I did. I laughed.
All right. So where we're at?
Okay. Based on your own projections, who has been the biggest surprise and biggest disappointments this season?
Believe it or not, the biggest surprise, because I had them pegged for last in the division, is Oakland.
Oh, Oakland. Oh, I thought you were gonna say Green Bay because you had them last too.
No, I had Oakland as my biggest surprise. You know,
Yeah.
and granted the game was in London, but when they punched the Bears in the mouth, you know, that kind of made them a little legit. You know, Gruden was getting a lot of grief, I feel, and unwarranted at that. They got a good young running back. They need to get a quarterback, and that their tight end Waller is out of this world. I think he's the next stud tight end in the NFL. Former wide receiver. He doesn't drop the ball. He runs great routes. He has great hands, soft hands, and he's fast. So, Oakland to me is a surprise team.
Can
I
add to that?
Yeah.
Well, we're on the Oakland subject for a second. I just want to add that John Gruden, I don't know why he gets the grief he does, because Oakland's got some great young pieces on that team, but as a whole, they're not all that talented. As a whole. And Gruden has coached this team to a 3-3 record. Like, this is literally just great coaching the way that they're at right now.
Yep.
Period. So he should not grief at all, because this team is way overachieving what they should be achieving.
Yeah, he should be coach of the year.
This was still another rebuild year. Right?
Yeah, he should be a coach of the year candidate.
Yeah, if he can take him to 8-8, 9-7, he's a coach of the year candidate. And
yep.
He might not win it, because usually 8-8, 9-7 teams don't win it, but he should definitely be in the conversation.
Yep.
Okay, continue on with what you had. I just wanted
I'm going to stay in division. I'm going to stay in division. Disappointment is San Diego, and for all the reasons that I talked about a few minutes ago. They just, I don't know what the problem is there. It can't be all the offensive line. It's got to be, some of it's got to be coaching, and I don't know if the Melvin Gordon thing was a distraction for him. You know, Mike Williams can't seem to stay healthy. He's got some back issues. I don't know what's going on with that, but it seems like it's always his back that's bothering him. Keenan Allen really hasn't done much. So, I mean, really the only threat they've had offensively there over the last couple of weeks has been Hunter Henry since he returned.
True.
So yeah, I mean, to me, they're a disappointment. There's no way that team should be 2-4 and at the bottom of the division by tiebreaker, because they lost to Denver.
2-5?
Or yeah, 2-5. No,
2-5.
Yeah, 2-5. Yeah.
Before I answer this question, I just want to point out that Michael Bolin commented on my Facebook post, and he said #We want Felipe. Just thought I'd bring that up. The people want it, Neil. The people want it.
I'm going to be curmudgeony old guy and say, no, it's a podcast. I'm not going to say it.
Okay. Biggest biggest surprise to me. Oakland's definitely got to be in the running for that. San Francisco though. Like I thought they were going to be improving, but there ain't no way that I thought they were going to be 6-0. And anybody, I don't care if you live in San Francisco, anybody who said, "Oh, they're going to be 6-0 going into week 8," you're a liar. So I'm just telling you that now. Nobody thought they were going to be that good. Okay, so that defense is. I have a friend at work is a big 49ers fan. He's back in the. I mean, he's an older dude now. He's like 41 or something. So he's been around for a little while. He's been since back in their heyday. He was watching when he was a kid and stuff. So big one. He didn't think they were going to be this good. And he said the defense is what he was worried about. And look at the way the defense is.
Yeah. Go back to the tape and of our first podcast when we did division breakdowns, and if you recall, I had him pegged second in the division.
Yeah, I think I had him third. I know I had him third, but
you had Seattle above him.
Yep, but I did say that watch this team because they were gonna be improved. So both of us had San Francisco being good, but not 6-0 good.
No.
They've just played lights out, especially defensively. Since we're going off projections, my biggest disappointment then based on projections is the Jets. And I had them win the AFC East. Not a lot of that is necessarily the Jets' fault. They've definitely fallen into some bad luck. But
I don't think
gotta go. They're never gonna do anything with Adam Gase, and I guess I don't know when I made my projections. I don't know why I didn't. In my head, that didn't register, but it should have because Adam Gase is not anybody you ever want to say is gonna win anything.
Right.
So for some reason, I didn't think that way. I gotta go with the Jets. We've talked enough about them. We'll do one more question. Which question do you want to do, Neil, before we do our picks? Because we're getting to the time. I don't care which you pick. The remaining ones that we got left.
Let's do the Lamar one.
Okay. Derek Rydall, Lamar Jackson. How long of a career can you see Lamar Jackson lasting with his play style? Running QBs never last.
Well, I personally think, and there's some factors to this. He's got to get better at throwing the football. That's number one.
Yeah, 9 for 20 last week.
As far as his mechanics and his footwork and everything, he's got to improve that. A running quarterback can last. See Michael Vick. Lamar reminds me a lot of Michael Vick, only maybe a little bit shiftier, I guess. He's not faster. Yeah, he's not faster. Vick was definitely faster. But the one thing about Lamar, as the same with Vick, and as opposed to RG3, is you never see Lamar take a big hit. He always either goes down or he somehow spins out of a big hit. So, with that being said, if he can change his mechanics, his footwork, improve his accuracy, I think he can have a very long career. And I think he can be a top 5 quarterback in the league.
All right. So, Lamar Jackson's got to not be a run-first quarterback. He's got to be a quarterback that's mobile, that can beat you on his feet, but looks to throw the ball first because he doesn't do that right now. He wants to run the ball. Okay, and you say Vick lasted, but his body got a 2-year break when he sat behind bars. And I'm not trying to get all into personal details on a sports podcast here, but that's important on this because 2-year break for your body does wonders. Okay, and everybody knows that. So. And Vick's also the exception. There's always an exception to a rule. Right? There's always somebody's body that can take those type of hits more. Vick was big. Okay, he was very stocky.
He was stocky. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that helps you take blows. Lamar Jackson's not stocky. He's like a stick figure. like
but that's what I'm saying is, as long as he avoids that big hit, he's going to be fine.
No, I agree. For the most part, he can limit that, but there are going to be just those hits that you can't, that are going to take their toll on your body. Those blindside hits from big linebacker, or blindside hits where he's running to the left and he's trying to go around and somebody catches him from behind and hits him hard. You know what I mean? So he's got to not be. I don't have a problem that he runs and he runs good. He's got to be pass first, run second. That's the way you're going to be. And another comparison to Vic that you had, and this is what he's got to work on to become pass first, is that sometimes neither one of those guys can hit the broadside of a barn with the football. And that, through the first 2 games, it didn't look like Lamar Jackson was going to be like that, but he's come back down to reality now that he's played a little bit better teams, and his accuracy is still, whoo.
Well, I think a lot of it is he's starting to revert back to old habits, which, old habits are hard to break. And he needs in my opinion, there should be a part of his practice session that focuses on his mechanics solely.
Yep.
Maybe take an hour or even a half hour, just work on his footwork. Don't throw the ball, just, practice your footwork on your drop backs. Practice.
Get the ropes thing out and run those while like making quarterback motions.
Yep.
So you can get your footwork, and trip over the rope. Not doing it well.
Yeah, if he can do that, I mean, I think he's smart enough to where he won't take the big hit. I mean, there's been not quarterback wise, but you never saw Barry Sanders take a big hit ever. I watched literally every game that guy ever played. Never once did I see somebody tee off on him. Because if it was a situation where he had nowhere to go, which was very, very rarely, he would just drop to the ground. He would avoid the big hit, and that's what Lamar does. He avoids that big hit. He saw what happened.
Genius. Randy Moss did it, and he was a pussy and couldn't run across the middle. Yeah.
I mean, RG3 was not very smart with it, and you could see that. I mean, you knew after watching him take off a couple times, it's like, yeah, this kid is not going to last if he doesn't start getting down or get out of bounds. And what happened? He took a big shot, and he was done.
Yeah, I don't think that would have ended his career, though, if Mike Shanahan wasn't his coach.
I don't know.
Because he didn't protect him either and sent him back out there with an unhealthy knee.
Yeah. I mean, that was on Shanahan, but, Shanahan didn't get him hurt to begin with.
No, he didn't, but I'm just saying I don't think it would have ended his career. I know it's not technically ended, but it figuratively
right
career.
He went from being
he'd still be a starting quarterback in this league possibly.
Yeah, he went.
This league possibly.
Yeah, he went from being a potential star player to a backup.
Yeah, because he looked like he was the better of the two between him and Andrew Luck. His first year. He was better than Luck, and Russell Wilson probably would have wound up being the better of the three, but it was between those two originally, right? And RG3 looked better than Luck did. So it's a shame because all three of them, because everybody knows Luck was a stud, right? So if Luck was the worst of the three, I mean, how good of a QB trio was that coming out of a draft, right? That's crazy. So, all right, well, we got to get to our picks now because we're running late. Oh, get this, man. My roommate texts me and tells me he's coming back from Mexico and his flight lands at 7:35 and he wants me to come pick him up. I'm like, motherfucker, why did you schedule a flight in the middle of a Vikings game? So now I got to pause it. I got to stay off social media. I got to go pick his ass up from the airport and come back and watch it. I'm going to get like 2 hours of sleep tonight and have to go into work at 3 a.m.
I'll text you the scores, keep you updated.
Please don't do that. I will literally contact Felipe to be on the show if you do that.
All right, I'll get a hold of AP too.
That I don't care about. If he ever actually answered you and it was involved with me, it would be like a dream come true. That's not going to make me upset.
You want to start this off or you want me to or what? I'll let you see how your team's up first.
Give me a second because I can't find the filled out sheet. I think it didn't save it like last time. Fuck. Hang on. I found there it is. Found it. Okay. Yeah, I'll start out tonight. Minnesota, Washington. I got Washington. No, I'm just kidding. I got Minnesota winning this game. It's not going to be close. It's in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins facing his old team. Coincidentally, the last 2 times these 2 teams faced each other, Case Keenum was the quarterback of the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins was the quarterback of the Redskins. How does that even happen?
I know.
Crazy. But, yeah, this isn't going to be close. Just the Vikings have too much talent for the Redskins. And the Redskins have no defense. And the way that Kirk Cousins has been playing, I know no Thielen tonight, but Thielen got hurt on the first drive of the Lions game last week, and they didn't miss a beat without him. So, and the Lions defense is better than the Redskins defense. So I don't see that being much of a problem. And if it does, they're just going to run Dalvin Cook, and the Redskins can't stop that. So, yeah, just from an offensive side, let alone the Vikings having a top 5 defense, you know, with not a lot of, well, they got young weapons. But the only thing I'm worried about is Adrian. I just feel like if he doesn't do it again the rest of the season, whatever, but I feel like he's going to have a game. He has a high ankle sprain and is still going to play in this game. The dude's a monster. It's 4 days after getting a high ankle sprain that sidelines people. Barkley was out for like 4 months or 4 weeks of that. And he's like, 4 days. And nobody can ever question the toughness of Adrian Peterson, no matter what his age is. The dude's
Well, he's got it. It's actually a grade 1 mid ankle sprain and a grade 2 high ankle sprain. So he's got 2 ankle sprains going on there. But
monster, bro. Washed up, whatever. The dude's still tough as nails.
Minnesota held Kerryon Johnson to 39 yards. Or 36? One of the two. Regardless, it was under 40 yards on 13 carries. So Washington's offensive line is nowhere near as good as Detroit's. I just, I don't see Adrian Peterson doing much here. I think you're actually going to probably see a lot because of the injury, but I think you're going to see a lot more of Chris Thompson than you will of Adrian Peterson because they're going to be playing from behind, and that's Chris Thompson's role in the offense. He's the pass-catching running back.
Right.
It's got this kind of a revengey game is dripping with revenge with Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins and Adrian Peterson. I mean,
take him, I dare you.
No, I'm not going to take him. I mean,
you sounded like you were saying.
I'm just saying it's good. Washington will score. I think McLaurin gets into the end zone. He didn't have a good game last week, but they also played in sludge. So, I mean, nobody passed last week.
Road's closed, Neil.
No, I'm going to start calling him the Autobahn. And McLaurin's a Koenigsegg.
Okay.
So, yeah, give me Minnesota.
All right.
Seattle at Atlanta. Again, Atlanta is, I feel, the beginnings of rebuild mode. They got no defense. I think I saw today that Ryan is not going to play. It will be Schaub under center.
Better for him.
So, I mean, this one probably won't be very close either. So just give me Seattle in this one.
Yeah, I got Seattle too. They're just playing like a far better team, and they haven't given up on their coach. Okay, because Atlanta. Okay, they don't. The only person actually, Julio Jones stuck up for Dan Quinn the other day in the locker room after they lost and yelled at all the team about how much Dan Quinn's put into this. But the fact that Julio had to do that shows that the team's given up on a coach.
Yep.
So they have 100% given up on Dan Quinn, and teams that give up on their coach don't win ball games. Seattle wins. This game won't be close. Philadelphia at Buffalo. Brent was watching. I don't know if he's still watching now. Sorry, buddy. Your team's 3-5. Defense. Your team doesn't have defense, so you're facing a defense against no defense. Buffalo's just a better team right now. I think if Philly was healthy, this would be a hell of a game. But right now they're not healthy, and I think Carson Wentz is going to struggle. against this defense, and if they can't score, they're not going to win a low scoring game in Buffalo. You just don't do that unless you're New England. You don't win low scoring games in Buffalo. Those are made for Buffalo. That's Buffalo's territory. So, favorite.
Yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo too. Sorry, Brent, but it's just it is what it is. Your passing defense is probably one of the worst in the league. I hate to dump on them because I actually like Brent, but man, I'm telling you, man, them corners. Did they find them at Costco? What? Those guys are. I don't even know how they're in the league.
He told me the other day Deshaun Jackson's return would fix the Eagles. No, I don't agree. No. I don't agree with him at all.
And, something's going on with Zach Ertz, too, because he's not getting the targets that he should be getting with Deshaun Jackson not being there. Right. And Aguilar being ineffective, and the rookie, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, not seeing the field at all either. I mean, it's really just, as far as the passing game goes, it's been Dallas Goedert and Alshon. So, but, and then the running backs. But, yeah, Philly will probably keep it interesting for a little while, but Buffalo's defense will come through.
It'll be low. I think it'll be low scoring. It'll be close the whole game, but they're not going to beat them, so.
So the next game we got is LA Chargers at Chicago.
2 underachievers.
Yeah, I just, I had a really hard time picking this one because
doorbell. Hang on. Keep talking. I can hear you.
Because the Chargers' offense is just putrid right now. I mean, their offense. I don't know. There really isn't much to say about this. Chicago's offense, Matt Nagy's not running the ball for some reason. He's got a talented kid back there in Montgomery, but he's just not running the ball. Trubisky, I don't think he could throw the ball into the sideline, to be honest with you. So, but Chicago does have the better defense of the two. So, this is going to be a low-scoring game, in my opinion. So, give me Chicago on this one.
Yeah, I took Chicago too. The only thing that scares me is that the Chargers, the last couple years, have been outstanding on the road. But obviously, it's not the same Chargers team, right?
Right. And they didn't do very good in Denver.
Yeah, that's a fact. This game may wind up being 6-3.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Viewers, don't watch this game. If you have
9-3.
another game, watch it. Okay?
Yeah, 9-3.
Week as a whole are trash, but any other game is better than this one. Okay, so this is gonna be like I fell asleep watching this game while I was on my couch because nothing happened but punts. Because Trubisky sucks, and Chargers have no offensive line. I can't put anything together. Phillip Rivers looks washed up. Again, could be the offensive line and lack of running game, potentially. But I have to say that's what he looks like right now. So, and he's hit that age where that's not like risky to say.
Right.
I got Chicago, and I picked them just purely because it's in Chicago. If it was in LA, I'd probably go the other way. But actually, maybe not. Chargers have no fans.
Yeah, that's what made me lean Chicago too. Was it's in Chicago?
It's in Chicago. All right, I'll go to the next one. Giants at Detroit. Detroit's lost 3 straight, but they haven't looked bad. The Giants have though, and it's in Detroit, and they just have the more talent on the team. So I gotta go to Detroit on this. The only thing Detroit's gonna have to stack. Daniel Jones looked good his first week and has not looked good since. So they don't really have to worry about. They need to stack the box in this game. Don't let Barkley beat you. He's gonna get his yards, but don't let him shred you. Right? Because you can only neutralize him so much. You can't really shut him down. So stack the box. Don't worry about the pass. If Daniel Jones beats you for a couple touchdowns, you can live with that. You can't live with letting Barkley beat you. So I think the Lions win. I don't think this game's that close. Maybe for a minute. But the one thing about the Lions, their offense has been, outside the Green Bay game, very, very good. And even the Green Bay game, the offense wasn't bad. They just couldn't execute in the red zone. I mean, they tore up the fifth best defense in the league last week. So this offense is going to score too many points. I got Detroit in a quite easy game, I think. So.
Yeah, every time I pick them, they make me look stupid. So, but I'm gonna take them too. And I mean, like kind of same thing you said. You know, the Giants got no defense. Sterling Shepard is not going to play. Daniel Jones has been really ineffective. He's looking like a rookie now. Barkley's going to get his 101 on the ground, but the thing is you can't let him catch 10 for another 120 and 2 more, because you do that and you run the risk of losing the game. I think the Giants are going to come in and they're going to want to try to keep Detroit's offense off the field, so they're going to pound with Barkley as much as possible, give the ball to him as much as possible. So that's going to be Detroit's defense's job, is negate Barkley as much as possible. Like you said, you're never going to shut him down, but you got to slow him down.
Right.
But yeah, give me Detroit. They're due. This was a game that this is a team they really needed to woes them right now.
Yep. I think a win here will do a lot of good for the confidence in the locker room. So.
Yep. Next one we got is Tampa Bay at Tennessee. You know, Tampa Bay has been such a Jekyll and Hyde team. Their offense 1 week can put up 40, and then the next week they don't know how to throw the ball to Mike Evans. And, you know, who's their best player on their team by far. Maybe not by far, but because Chris Godwin is actually the number 2 wide receiver in the NFL right now, only behind Michael Thomas. Which
I think Mike Evans is a better wide receiver, though. But
on paper, yes.
Mike Evans is getting double teamed every game.
Right. But Tennessee's got a defense, Tampa Bay doesn't. And it's what this one's going to boil down to. It's going to be Tennessee needs to keep it low scoring, because I don't think they're going to put a lot up points up. So yeah, give me the Titans. This one's in Nashville, so I'll take the Titans in this one.
Okay, I'm going to take Tampa Bay because I'm never picking Tennessee again. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I don't care if they play Miami this year. I'm taking them. I'm not taking Tennessee anymore.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Okay, do that. Go ahead. I don't think they play each other, so I think I'm safe. What makes me nervous is the last game they played, Jameis Winston went back to Jameis Winston and threw 5 interceptions. I don't want to pick Tampa Bay because that scares me too, but I can't pick Tampa. It doesn't matter who I pick, they're going to lose. So I'm just going to let you win this one and pick Tampa Bay. Okay, because whichever one I pick, they're going to lose. And I just think Tampa Bay, for my reasoning, is because one team can throw the ball and the other team can't throw the ball. The problem is that Winston sometimes throws the ball to the wrong jersey.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, God damn it. This was such a hard game for me to pick. But I just told myself I'm not picking Tennessee anymore. So that's why I picked Tampa Bay.
Well, hopefully they play Cincinnati this year.
Cincinnati in the Rams. Okay. Cincinnati get their first win this week. No, I'm totally kidding. I picked the Rams. So
I was going to let you roll with it.
Cincinnati, okay, their offense looked good for a week 1. Okay, they can't score and they can't stop people from scoring. So like this is a bad week to play this is a bad team to play the Rams, because this could be like a 50-something to nothing game.
Yep.
It really could. Like this is the, you know what? This is the blowout of the week to me. There's no team that will blow out. Even Minnesota and Washington tonight. And I know Minnesota's 16-point favorites. This is the blowout of the week. The Rams are going to beat Cincinnati by like 40. Cincinnati's trash. Like Cincinnati and Miami play later this year, and I'm highly considering picking Miami. They're trying to lose and might still beat Cincinnati. So that's all I got, man. I don't need to go into why.
Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep into it either, other than the fact that it's Cincinnati who all of a sudden, I mean, at least Tyler Boyd was getting some action, and now he's disappeared too. They've actually got a all APV out on him, trying to find him.
Milk cartons.
Yeah, it's out on the left coast. I think the Rams are going to want to put a statement to the NFL that they are not dead. And I'm in full agreement with you. Rams are putting at least 40 up on this one.
Where did you say this game was being played?
It's at the Rams, ain't it?
London.
It's in LA.
London.
Oh, is it in London? I didn't get that.
The only reason I remember that is because the schedule says versus.
Oh, well, either way, it doesn't matter. It can be played in Antarctica.
We're trying to get fans in London, and we give them Cincinnati and the Rams. Like before this season started, who thought this was a good game to send to Mexico or to London? Like, hey, this will get us some fans.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl champs versus the never champs. Like,
well,
Cincinnati was going to be horrible. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse.
Yeah, we're going to move on. Arizona at New Orleans. Kyler Murray's been pretty impressive. He showed a lot of nothing in preseason, but again, that was playing offense. That's them not wanting to tip their hand. So, but Arizona's got too many injuries. They got no defense. New Orleans, Breeze is practicing. I don't know if he's going to play.
But he's playing.
Okay. Well, I personally think that he should wait another week. Let Teddy's been just fine. Wait one more week, make sure it's healed, and come back the week after.
2 more weeks because they got a bye right after.
2 more weeks. That's right. But yeah. I mean, there isn't too much to say about this. New Orleans should be able to easily handle Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick New Orleans too. I just want to say that this is the dumbest decision I've seen Sean Payton make as a coach. You have a bye next week, which makes this to play Breeze this soon even dumber, because you would have got 2 more weeks to rest him and only miss 1 game.
Yep.
There's no and Bridgewater's lit it up, okay? Like he's literally way outperformed what anybody thought he was gonna do. You stand no risk by playing Teddy Bridgewater this week. If I'm Sean Payton, I tell Breeze, I don't care if you want to play. I'm telling you, you're not playing. You're the coach. You tell him. If you want what's best for your team, do you want Breeze there at the end? Would you rather, as well as Teddy's played, would you rather the NFC Championship game in the hands of Drew Brees or Teddy Bridgewater? Come on.
Right.
Don't risk re-injuring his hand. He needs to sit. Bridgewater needs to play. Be a coach, man. Don't let Breeze run this team. I know he's going to play. That's the competitor he is. We need to tell him, look, we have a bye week next week. It's only 1 more game. Sit. Make sure this thing's 100%. Period. Teddy will take.
Hold a clipboard, stand beside me on the sideline, and be an extra set of eyes.
New Orleans is going to win because they're better at every position than Arizona. So, sorry, Kyler, at this moment. I know you've played well, but Teddy Bridgewater is still a better quarterback than you right now. So, at every position, they are better. So, even if Bridgewater plays, they're still better at QB. So, and it's in New Orleans on top of it. So, Jets, Jags. As bad as the Jets were last week, I don't want to pick them, but I'm gonna. I think the Jets are going to look more like the Jets against the Cowboys than they're going to look like the Jets against New England. I think that the moment Darnold threw the first pick against New England, it was over. Like, he had psyched himself out. When he's on the sideline talking about seeing ghosts, that ain't good. Are you sure he's healthy? Because that might be like the meds they gave him for the mono. Because you shouldn't be seeing things out there, man. Like, first of all, I want to know how you're seeing ghosts, because half the time you threw the ball, there wasn't even a jet on my television screen when they intercepted the ball. It was like New England and nobody. It was like, what, who? He's got to bounce back. That's his teammates showed that they showed support for him in the locker room. All the veterans of the team, and especially Le'Veon Bell, really showed some confidence in Darnold, and I think the team believes in him. And Minshew mania was cool during like it's like early phases, but he's kind of cooled down, to be honest with you. He's not. It's not like he's playing lights out football anymore. He's looking like a rookie. I got the Jets. I think it'll be close because I don't think these teams are that good, but I got the Jets squeezing this out here because I still think the Jets have a run in the AFC for a chance at a wild card despite being 1-5.
Yeah, actually, I'm also taking the Jets because
Both took the upset. All right.
I think that game and the way Sam Darnold's teammates rallied around him after the game, I think that's going to try to find the word. Basically, it's going to show him that, okay, I messed up. I messed up really bad, but my boys still have my back. And so let's focus this week on Jacksonville. Let's have a good week of practice. Let's get out there and let's get this done. The only thing that really scares me about the Jets is, we touched on it earlier, is a freaking Adam Gase is their coach. Jacksonville is going to want to run the ball. That's their MO. They run the ball, play defense. Jets actually have a really, really good run defense. I don't think Fournette's going to do too much in this game, to be honest with you. And he's been playing well, and so far to this point.
Second in the league in rushing.
You're right, but you're also kind of with his past wonder when is that game going to happen? When is that game that he's going to come off the field limping going to happen?
Yeah.
And the Jets got a really hard hitting defense. I mean, Quinnen Williams and Mosley, they just I'm going to take the Jets on this one, even though it's in Jacksonville.
Yep.
The next one we have is Denver at Indy. Okay, this is probably going to be the second, the third, maybe the second biggest blowout of the week. Denver's offense is in absolute turmoil right now. Flacco looks like a deer in headlights back there. He's lost.
No Sanders.
No Sanders. Deshaun Hamilton's going to take Sanders' role in the offense, but that offensive line, honestly, I don't know how many holding penalties did Garrett Bowles have last week. That was ridiculous. It seemed like every flip and play they were throwing a flag on him for holding, and it was the same way the week before. So They're just, man. John Elway needs to get a grasp on that because there's a lot of murmuring going on right now that he doesn't know how to evaluate a quarterback, which is a pretty sad thing to say considering he was one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's missed on so many guys, but yeah, I mean, this one's in Indy. It's not going to be close. Indy's got a great defense. Just give me Indy on this one.
Indy was actually almost the team I picked as my biggest surprise for the year. They pissed me off by costing me $1,300 last week. So, beating Houston, that could have been a game they lost, and that would have been cool. They play in the AFC. They're still going to make the playoffs, so you could have just let me have that one. That would have been cool, but it's not. So, John Elway cannot evaluate a quarterback, and there are some people here in Denver that go, "What about Peyton Manning?" Dude, nobody had to evaluate Peyton Manning. Okay, there was no evaluating that needed to be done with Peyton Manning. So don't use that as Stevie Wonder could have evaluated Peyton Manning.
Helen Keller.
Right. No, come on, man. Don't use that. Every other quarterback that's come in there has been a bust. The only guy he succeeded on was a guy that nobody needed to evaluate. Period. And until Elway gets out of there, they won't be contenders again. At least not serious contenders. Maybe They might squeeze in some wild card appearances at some point in time because the AFC is weak, but he'll never have a serious quarterback. That's what he's looking for. And it's crazy to me. I've said this before, just like you said. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, and you can't figure out who else is good? Seriously? Your big move in the offseason was like, watch this. We're going to get rid of Case Keenum, and we're going to get his fucking clone.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo! Denver, we're here for titles.
Well, yeah, that is a absolute shit show going on over there.
Yeah, I got Indy. I have no more to add to what you did, so I'm not going to try to. You hit every nail on the head that there was for that, so that was good breakdown. Carolina at San Francisco. Actually, this game's kind of intriguing because Kyle Allen's been playing really good football.
Yep.
Nuts to give the job back to Cam Newton. I'm sorry. He didn't throw a single touchdown pass in 2 games, and Kyle Allen has done nothing but to score and win you guys football games. So you would be absolutely no. I think he had 1 game where he didn't perform very well, and the team still won, luckily. But every other game, the other 3 games, he's been like lights out.
Yeah.
And you would be just absolutely retarded to give him the job back. But I don't think he's good enough against this defense. This is going to be a wake-up. What sucks for him is that Cam Newton's about ready to come back, right? And this could be the game where they're like, oh, well, look, he didn't succeed against San Francisco, which sucks for him. It really does.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be successful in this game. And I don't think this game will be close as I want it to be. I hope he proves me wrong because I want this to be a good game for him. But San Francisco has eaten up everybody they've played. It doesn't matter who you are. They've eaten you up. Everyone. So I don't see this changing any from a guy who's had 5 starts in this league. So it's just not going to change. I think Carolina's offense is better overall than San Francisco's, but their defense is way better than Carolina's defense. Carolina's got an average defense. It's not bad, but their turnovers look good, but it's very inflated because they picked off Jameis Winston 5 times last week. So
Right.
it's heavily inflated, but yeah, San Francisco is better everywhere.
Yeah, I'm going to take San Francisco too. I don't think San Francisco has a very good run defense. So McCaffrey's McCaffrey. He's kind of like Barkley. He's still going to get his. He's still going to get his. But I don't see Kyle Allen have a whole lot of time to do much of anything back there because, again, this is another team with a questionable offensive line, injuries, whatever. Nick Bosa is just going to feast. I think Kyle Allen might be seeing ghosts this week.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in the form of Nick Bosa, and they're going to be in his nightmares for the next several weeks. Because that guy is just going to come around that corner and just blow him up. So, yeah, I don't see this one being very close either. Give me San Francisco. The next one we have is Oakland at Houston. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people would give it credit for. Oakland just traded Garyon Conley to Houston. Don't remember what they got for him, but Conley just wasn't doing much. I got a train coming. I don't know if you hear it or not.
Oh, I can hear it.
So I'll make this quick. I'm going to take Houston. Too many weapons. It's in Houston. It'll be a close game, but I've also heard that Josh Jacobs is nursing an injury and is questionable for this game. So I'll take the Texans.
Well, I think Jacobs is going to play, but what it comes down to is Houston's got a defense and Oakland does not. I mean, they don't have a defense at all. Okay, in Houston, Deshaun Watson's a way better quarterback than Derek Carr is. I wanted to pick Oakland because I like Gruden, but I got to pick Houston. Thank God I DVR'd this Minnesota game, by the way. Cleveland, New England. I wanted so bad to pick Cleveland, and then Jarvis Landry guaranteed victory. So there goes that. New England's going to win this game, but I feel like that Baker could kind of have a little bit of a breakout game because if he has even a decent game against this defense from one of the greatest defenses ever, people are going to shut up. And it'll be nice to hear people shut up. There's no way they win this game to me. Not in Foxborough. New England's too good. Belichick's too good. New England.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really bitter taste in my mouth right now having to say this, but I mean, I've got a record I got to try and keep intact, and I haven't been doing a very good job of that the last couple of weeks. So, you know, the thing that New England does is they take your best player away from you, and in this case, it's going to be Nick Chubb. They're not afraid of Baker because they know that they are having offensive line issues, and you know, Baker's got to have some time to get the ball to OBJ and get it to Landry and to Ricky Seals-Jones, Ratley. But I mean, I'm not going to go too far into it. I think Cleveland's defense will keep it a little closer than what people think, but in the end, New England's just got too much. Next one is oh shit, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did. Never mind. Sorry, I thought I didn't mark this one, and I did. I put it in a different spot. We got Green Bay at Kansas City. Mahomes is practicing, last I heard, but we don't know how effective he's going to be because that was, from everything I read, it was supposed to be a 3-week injury, and it's been what, 2? So, for Mahomes.
It was a week from today. A week ago, 7 days.
Was that last week? No, that was last week, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was last week's Thursday night.
Oh, okay. Well, that even solidifies my pick even more then. Kansas City doesn't have a defense, and Mahomes is hobbled. He can't run around like he normally does, and I actually think it's affecting his throwing as well. I think Green Bay is going to go into Arrowhead and steal one.
Yeah. Let me just say that if Andy Reid allows Patrick Mahomes to play, this is a huge mistake. Okay, because look, your division is not good. Okay, you have Denver sucks, Chargers suck, Oakland's not ready yet. Okay, so you could play Matt Moore for 5 weeks and still win this division. Okay, because with a hobbled Pat Mahomes or a healthy Matt Moore, it doesn't matter. You're not winning this week against the Packers, and you're not winning against Minnesota this week. Not without Mahomes healthy. So you have no defense to stop both of those teams whose offenses are just killing it right now. So there's no way. You need to rest him so that when you make the playoffs at 10-6 or whatever you make it, when you win your division, he's there when you need him. Okay, you don't want to RG3 this thing. Okay, because I heard 3 weeks too, but I heard earliest 3 weeks. I heard 3 to 5 for fully healthy. There is no way he should be playing in this game. And whether he plays in this game or not, Green Bay is going to win this game. They have no defense, and with Patrick Mahomes not even close to 100%, because I seen his footage of him practicing yesterday, not good. So whether he plays or not, there's no way that they're going to score enough to beat Green Bay. Green Bay on the road. Then the last game, we don't go into detail. Neil, Pittsburgh. All right. Me and Neil will post our picks on Facebook. Thank you, everybody, for watching Talk is Cheap. We appreciate it. Neil, thanks for joining me.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, you too. See ya.